to the Buddha before starting. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddham dhammam sangham namassami. Hello everyone and good evening. Today we have joined for the Wednesday Dhamma reading session. We have a few suttas from Saṁyutta Nikāya, 35 chapter. In that, I choose to read few of the suttas, maybe 3 of them. This is Saṁyutta Nikāya, Salayatana Saṁyutta. In this, we are going to read first only few suttas, very short, but I think they are very much needed. This is 35.20 and 19. This is 19. Yes, I really liked it. Very interesting when I opened this on Sutta Center. We can see here, if you enjoy the 6 interior sense fields, you enjoy suffering. Exterior, if you enjoy the 6 exterior sense fields, you enjoy suffering. So first sutta, we'll read this, 35.19, delight. Bhikkhus, one who seeks delight in the eye, seeks delight in suffering. One who seeks delight in suffering, I say, is not freed from suffering. One who seeks delight in the ear, seeks delight in suffering. One who seeks delight in suffering, I say, is not freed from suffering. One who seeks delight in the nose, seeks delight in suffering. One who seeks delight in suffering, I say, is not freed from suffering. One who seeks delight in the tongue, seeks delight in suffering. One who seeks delight in suffering, I say, is not freed from suffering. One who seeks delight in the body, seeks delight in the suffering. One who seeks delight in the suffering, I say, is not freed from suffering. One who seeks delight in the mind, seeks delight in the suffering. One who seeks delight in suffering, I say, is not freed from suffering. One who does not seek delight in the eye, does not seek in suffering. One who does not seek in suffering, I say, is freed from suffering. One who does not seek delight in the ear, does not seek delight in suffering. One who does not seek delight in suffering, I say, is freed from suffering. One who does not seek delight in the nose, does not seek delight in suffering. One who does not seek delight in suffering, I say, is freed from suffering. One who does not seek delight in the ear, in the tongue, does not seek delight in suffering. One who does not seek delight in suffering, I say, is freed from suffering. One who does not seek delight in the body, does not seek delight in suffering. One who does not seek delight in suffering, I say, is freed from suffering. One who does not seek delight in the mind, does not seek delight in suffering. One who does not seek delight in suffering, I say, is freed from suffering. Yes, I think it's very interesting when we read it with repetition, because we can see that the six senses that we keep seek delight, or when we seek craving through any of the senses, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, mind, what happens is that means we are seeking delight in suffering. And when one who is delighting in suffering is not freed from suffering, that means if we keep on going behind sense pleasures, we are bound to be still in this existence or this suffering or this samsara. So the Buddha is clearly stating that all of the senses, six senses, that delight in them is suffering. And we will see what the ChatGPT has to say. So this is the first sutta, the delight. Here in a twin-lined explanation, delight in any of the six sense space is equals to delight in suffering, because delight, Nandi, is equals to craving, tanha. The Buddha is describing the exact moment where the dependent origination chains either continues or stops. What is delight? In twin language, delight is the tightness of craving that's subtle. I like it, I want this, stay with this moment of the mind. Bhante often says, craving is that tight, squirmy tension feeling right before the mind grabs something. Delson Armstrong explains it similarly. Nandi is the enjoyment born of craving, the juice the mind wants to keep extracting. So, delight is not joy. It is the craving towards joy, pleasure, interest, or even neutral experience. How delight causes suffering? When delight arises at any of the six sense doors, ears, eyes, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, the chain proceeds: contact, feeling, delight or craving, clinging, becoming, and suffering. This is why the Buddha says, one who seeks delight in the eye seeks delight in suffering. It's not moral judgment, it's literal dependent origination. If craving is there, suffering will follow. Twin gives a practical method for the moment when delight arises. 6 are at the moment of delight. Recognize the moment of liking, leaning, or tightening. Release attention from the object. Relax the tightness, which is the craving. Re-smile to bring lightness and openness. Return to your home object. Repeat whenever needed. This is exactly what the Buddha means by one who does not seek delight in the eye is freed from suffering. Not because the sense experiences disappeared, but because craving did. This is not avoidance or suppression. Bhante emphasized many times, we do not avoid the senses. We change our relationship to them. Not seeking delight does not mean avoiding seeing, hearing, thinking, suppressing reactions, being detached in a cold way. It simply means the object appears, feeling arises, craving does not arise. This is the skill developed in Twim's relaxed jhanas. This sukta is a doorway to Nibbana. Why? Because breaking the link at craving is the highest insight. This is what happens in the higher jhanas, the cessation of perception and feeling, the insight into dependent origination in reverse. All four stages of awakening. The mind learns Seeing does not require craving. Hearing does not require craving. Thinking does not require craving. Experience can occur without the I who delights. This realization is profoundly liberating. Summary: Buddha's words: seeking delight, twin explanations, craving, tightness, wanting, and identification. Eye, ear, mind, any of the six sense doors. Seeks delights in suffering. Craving leads to dependent origination and dukkha. Do not seek delight. Not seeking delight. Contact plus feeling without craving. Freed from suffering. Chain ends. Momentary nibbana. Awakening. Okay, so I actually wanted to read a sutta, which for the external senses as well. But here it is says the same for the six external sense spaces as well. So we'll just change the wording here. Eye for forms, ear sounds, smell, taste, touch, or tactile objects, and then mind objects. I'll just read through it quickly. This is Delight 1, 35.19, and this is 35.20. Delight 2. Bhikkhus, one who seeks delight in the form, seeks delight in suffering. One who seeks delight in suffering, I say, is not freed from suffering. One who seeks delight in the sound, in the smell, in the taste, in the tactile objects, in the mind objects, seeks delight in suffering. One who seeks delight in suffering, I say, is not freed from suffering. One who does not seek delight in the form, one who does not seek delight in the sound, one who does not seek delight in the smell, one who does not seek delight in the taste, one who does not seek delight in tactile objects, one who does not seek delight in the mind objects, does not seek delight in suffering. One who does not seek delight in suffering, I say, is freed from suffering. It's really interesting when we read the second part as well, when with the external sense basis, because we can see even though the eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind are present, these internal senses or the delight runs behind the external sense basis as well. Thus, wanting of more of beautiful seeing or a nice fragrance or tasty food, maybe pleasant tactile objects or mind objects. All these things are external, and even the mind delight in the external senses also causes suffering. There is one more sutta continuing to this particular topic. This is the all. This is also a sutta wherein the Buddha actually says the world is actually the senses. What is the all? I mean, what is this all world that we experience? So the Buddha here gives this particular sutta. Et savati bhikkhus, I will teach you the all. Listen to that. And what bhikkhus is the all? The eye and forms, the ear and sounds, the nose and odors, the tongue and taste, the body and tactile objects, the mind and mental phenomena. This is called the all. If any one bhikkhus should speak thus, having rejected this all, I shall make known another all. That would be a mere empty boost on his part. If he were questioned, he would not be able to reply, and further, he would meet with vexation. For what reason? Because what would not be within his domain, that would not be within his domain. It's really the Buddha has given this sutta because there is nothing outside of these things: the eyes, forms, the ears, sounds, the nose, odors, tongue and taste, the body, tactile objects, the mind, and the mental phenomena. And if somebody would reject this and say, I would give you something beyond this world, but he would definitely include those things in any of these things that the Buddha has said. And the all or the world is nothing but the six senses. And it's really interesting, only this eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind. They create the whole world. I mean, the seeking delight in, the craving, the experience, samsara, everything is like circulated surrounding it. And we'll see what ChatGPT has to say regarding this particular sutta. The Buddha defines the entirety of human experience in the most direct way possible. This, he says, is the all. Nothing we experience, no matter how lofty, mystical, profound, or subtle, falls outside this structure. Why did the Buddha define the all? In Bhante Vimalaramsi's teaching, the Buddha wanted to clarify the domain in which suffering arises and in which liberation occurs. Everything that can be known arises at one of the six sense doors. There is nowhere else for suffering to arise and nowhere else for Nibbana to be realized. Thus, all craving happens within the six sense spaces. All clinging happens within the six senses. All becoming happens within the six senses. All insight happens within the six senses. Even the cessation of perception and feeling is understood through the mind door. As Bhante said repeatedly, everything is included in the six sense doors. If it isn't there, it isn't experience. Why rejecting the all is impossible? The Buddha anticipates the possibility that someone might say, I reject this all, I will teach another all. He responds, that would be an empty boost, it cannot be done. Why? Because any experience of a supposed other all would still occur through one of the six sense doors. You see a vision, eye door. You hear a celestial sound, ear door. You think about a spiritual realm, mind door. You feel an energy, body door. You perceive an altered state, jhana or formless sphere, mind door. Even the most profound meditative experiences, the arupa jhanas, the immaterial attainments, even cessation itself must be known. If you are known at all via the mind, if they are known at all via the main mind door. This is what Delson emphasizes when he says, there is no experience outside contact, feeling, perception, intention, and attention. And all of these arise at the sense doors. How this connects to the dependent origination? The entire dependent origination cycle begins at the six sense doors. Six sense door bases, contact, feeling, craving, and so on. By defining all, the Buddha is saying, here, right here, at the six sense doors, is where the whole Dhamma lives. This is why twin training focuses strongly on observing contact, observing feeling, relaxing craving, releasing clinging, softening identification. Bante Vimramsi repeatedly tied this sutta to practice. When you meditate, all you ever experience is one of the six doors, and all you ever have to do is see, feeling clearly, and relax the craving. The all during meditation. A thought appears, mind door. A sound interrupts you, ear door. Pressure in the leg, body door. Joy or tranquility arises, mind door. Spaciousness or disillusion, mind door. Even the formless realms, mind door. Cessation, knowing only through the mind door afterward. When perception returns, everything you experience is included in this all. This provides clarity and prevents confusion. B- Why the Buddha rejects anything outside the all? Some teachers or system might claim a seventh sense, a mystical reality outside perception, a true self that known from beyond the senses, a spiritual realm outside experience. The Buddha's response in this sutta is simple. If it can be known, it must be known through the six sense bases. If it cannot be known, it is irrelevant to liberation. Bante loved these suttas precisely because it prevents speculative teachings that lead away from